So this is problem 9.5b, and the first thing you want to do with a problem like this is to set up the T accounts, because they're going to ask us to do a property, plant, and equipment section at the end. So here's the T accounts with the beginning, and then we do the journal entries. The first one's pretty easy. On 4.1, we just buy land for cash. We can all do this, that's not too bad. And that was for 1.2 million. It's always good to start off fairly easy. And so then we would note, we'd just post that to the land ledger account. And you can do real ledger accounts or T accounts, whichever makes most sense to you. On the May 1st, we sold some equipment. So let's put down what we know will happen here. We know we got some cash. And how much cash do they tell us we got? Actually, I'm going to leave a space here because we know that we are, the first thing that we have to do on 5.1 is we have to update the depreciation expense to the date of the sale. So we're going to go depreciation expense, and we'll update the accumulated depreciation on the equipment to the date of the sale. Then we can say, okay, how much cash did we get? And in the problem it tells us we got $260,000. And it tells us that the equipment that came off the books originally cost $450,000. Now, we know that the accumulated depreciation that goes with that equipment to date has to come off the books. And we know there will probably be a gain or a loss on the transaction. We don't know which yet, because the next thing we have to do is to figure out the depreciation, the accumulated depreciation to date. So they tell us the original cost was $260,000. It was purchased on 1/1/2012 and had a straight line 10-year life. So if it originally cost $450,000, 10-year life, that means it's going to be depreciated at $45,000 per year depreciation expense. Now, it was purchased on 2012, so let's just do a quick little accumulated depreciation for this machine. So 2012, we would have taken $45,000, and we would have done that 2013, 2014, and 2015. So we would have taken $45,000 for each of those years. Okay, and that's kind of where we are now. That's what is on the books now, that amount of accumulated depreciation. But we're selling this on 5.1. So if we divide the 45,000, I didn't do it out by year, but if we do this times January, February, March, April, May, we're selling it. So we would update the depreciation until the beginning of May, or so we would go 45,000 times 4/12. So that would update January, February, March, April, and then we're selling it May 1st. So 45,000 times 4/12 is the 15,000 that we have to update this to the date of the sale. So this is as of 4/30/16. Okay? All right. So when we total that up, we would get 195,000. And now we can finish our journal entry. 195,000 accumulated depreciation. And that means when we figure all of this out, we have a gain on the sale of equipment of $5,000. Okay, so let's post what happened here. We sold some equipment for $450,000, that cost $450,000. We removed $195,000 of the accumulated depreciation that went with that. And the rest we don't need to post because it won't show up in property, plant, and equipment. Okay, so moving right along, the next thing we do is sell some land on 6.1. Okay, so 6.1, we know we're going to get some cash. We know we've sold some land. We know there's no accumulated depreciation involved here. So we got $1 million in cash. The original cost of the land, they say, was $340,000. So we have a gain on the sale here as well, of $660. Okay, so we update, we remove the land that we just sold, $340. It's easier to keep up with these as you go along. Okay, then on 7-1, we buy some equipment. Oh, good. This is a nice, easy one. We buy some equipment, pay some cash, and the amount is $1.5 million. Okay, so now we go 1500000. All right. And then, so far so good, but now on 12/31, they were asking us to compute the depreciation expense, prepare the adjusting entries. Okay, so we know that on 12/31, we're going to have to go, we'll go depreciation expense for the building, and then we go accumulated depreciation for the building. And we would also go depreciation expense and accumulated depreciation for the equipment. Okay, start with the building. That's probably a little easier. The building, it cost $20 million, 50-year life, no salvage value, and we're updating for the year. So that's fairly easy. We divide the 20 million by 50 years and we get 400,000 a year. Oh, good. Just knock that one right off. So that's the adjusting entry there. And so we would update our accumulated depreciation on the building. Okay. And then the equipment, that's where it gets a little tricky. Let's start with the beginning equipment. We had, and I'm going to just do the 30. We had the 30 million in equipment, right? And of that, we sold 450,000. Okay, so how much of the original equipment? Did we also sell 300,000? Did I skip an entry here? Oh, tell me I didn't skip an entry. Kidding me? Just a moment. I have also that we sold 3. Did they change this problem? Oh, we retired equipment. I missed this last one. This is where I need the classroom. You guys can't help me at all when I do this. On December 31st, we also retired equipment that cost $300,000 when purchased in 2006. So that one is fairly straightforward because, and I totally forgot to put this on my answers. It's fully depreciated. Okay, and so we would have gone on 12/31. Sorry about this, but we would just go accumulated depreciation equipment and equipment, both for 300,000. This is really bad, but I don't have time to redo the whole thing, so you'll have to bear with me. Okay, so we sold more equipment, or we retired the equipment, and we also removed the accumulated depreciation that went with us. Okay, so now let me go back to the adjusting entries. So we also sold 300,000. So the equipment that we are left with is going to be, of that original batch, is 29,250. Okay. So that's all getting depreciated over 10 years, okay? So we would divide that by 10, and we would get our 2925. So that's the depreciation expense this year on our existing equipment. And then this year, we purchased some equipment in July, on July 1st, so it's not depreciated for a full year. So when we bought, didn't do this either. See, this, I really need a classroom here. Jeez, this is bad. Okay, so, all right, So we've got that amount of depreciation, and then we bought this here, this equipment. So we've also got the 1.5 million that's going to be depreciated over 10 years. So that would be 150,000 per year, but we are only going to be, we are depreciating it for half of that this year because we didn't buy it until July. So we would go depreciation expense with a total of these two, which comes out to how did I not total that? Okay, it comes out to 3 million, okay? So 3,000,000. So we would go depreciation expense, 3 million, and accumulated depreciation, 3 million. Okay, so we would have our equipment depreciation here, accumulated depreciation. We've just added 3 million. Okay, so now when we go to update our T accounts, we would find that we started out with 2 million in land, we bought some and we sold some, so we end up with 2860 in our land account. So that's our total land. Our building, we haven't done anything there, but the accumulated depreciation is now 8,400,000. Okay. Okay, and then we come down to our equipment. We started out with the 30 million, we purchased some, we sold some, and when we end up with a balance in our equipment account of 30,750,000. Okay, and then when we do our accumulated depreciation account, we end up with, on the equipment, 6,550,000. Okay, and so with those numbers, you can prepare the property, plant, and equipment section in good format. And I'm going to leave you to look at my notes just to see how that's done. It's kind of silly for me to rewrite that whole thing now, especially with, I had to take a little extra time on this one because I forgot journal entries. All right, so anyway, sorry about that, and I'll try to be a little more smooth on the next one.